Hi, welcome to the ebook video link for butter chicken. Now the recipe that we've given you in the book and the recipe we're going to show you here is authentic Indian recipe. Now you might have had butter chicken from a takeaway or a restaurant where they've made it pretty much like a chicken korma, except they've added a bit of butter in there. Well, that isn't butter chicken. Butter chicken should be orange in colour, should have fresh tomatoes in it, and it also should have a little bit of spice to it. It's not a completely sweet dish, it does have a little bit of spice to it as well. And the curry that's closely related to it, they say anyway, is chicken tikka masala. So we're going to show you how to make butter chicken, which is a delicious dish. And this is what we're going to do. So we've got our pan on our stove, heating with just a scant chef spoon of oil. So it is a chef spoon, but just a scant one, because there will be butter in this. It is a rich dish. So we're just getting that nice and warm. Turn the heat up there. And our ingredients here, we've got our tomato paste, we've got ginger and garlic paste, we've got 3 tomatoes finely chopped. It's important to get them nice and fine. We've got 1 small onion finely chopped. We've got 8 pieces of chicken tikka pre-cooked. You can just put regular chicken if you want. You don't have to put tikka, but we do because it just adds a little bit of a nice extra characteristic to the dish. And then in our spice tub, we're not using mixed powder here because mixed powder has turmeric and there's no turmeric in this dish, which is quite bitter. So we've got aromatic spices in here. We've got cumin, we've got coriander, we've got garam masala, we've got cinnamon stick, and we've got a scant teaspoonful of chili powder. We've also got 100 grams of butter. Well, this is ghee, but butter will also do. We've got a tablespoonful of brown sugar and 1 chilli finely chopped. Now if you don't want heat in this dish at all, use the chilli but take the seeds out. Now we've got some cream and we've got some orange food colouring. Now traditionally butter chicken is orange and people expect it to be orange when they get the traditional recipe. Now you can leave this out, it doesn't really make any difference to the flavour, just the colour. But we've dissolved about 1/4 teaspoonful of deep orange colour in some water here that we're going to add in there just to get the right colour for butter chicken. So let's get on with our dish. So we've got our oil heating up there, let's get our onions in. Now we don't want to brown the onions, we just want to get them nice and sweated down, just till they're translucent. Allow them just to cook for just a moment. Now once you've sort of cooked those just for a minute or 2, in with your fresh tomato. Now the fresh tomatoes and the onions will create the base for this. So you really don't need base gravy in this. However, we're going to put a ladle of base gravy in because it does add a nice sort of texture and flavour to the curry. So we will put 1 ladle in. But you don't really need to do with this traditional Indian recipe. So we're just going to cook that for a couple of minutes till the tomatoes are broken down. So we'll come back to that once it's been cooking for 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes and our tomatoes are breaking down nicely there along with our onions and the oil. And so now we just add just a scant teaspoon really, probably just 1/2 to 3/4 teaspoon of garlic ginger, because it's not a very garlicky dish. Just add a little bit in there, and you don't need to fry it either, you just can add that in with your onions and your tomatoes now. Okay, so at this stage we can now add in our spices, except the only spice that we're not adding in is we're not going to add in the garam masala because that's added right at the end. So everything bar the garam masala. a lot of chefs, particularly in authentic Indian cuisine, because they want to keep the characteristic of the spice, the aromatic quality that is, they usually mix the spices with a little water before they add them in. So you can do that, and I think we mentioned that in the recipe, but as long as you're not burning it on a high heat, you will be alright if you add the spices in there. But you just don't want to burn these spices. That's important there. So you just cook that just for a little moment there, and then our heat has just gone out. A little heat. And next we're just going to add 1 cup of water. Add hot water so it doesn't slow your cooking down. So I'll return the heat. Now this ain't looking like butter chicken yet, but by the time we finish with it, you'll see the difference. So we just want to cook with the cinnamon in there, just to bring out the flavour just for a moment. And then what we're going to do is we're going to allow that to cool before we actually blend the mixture up. So we'll come back to that once we've allowed it to cool. Okay, our liquid has cooled. Our tomatoes, onions and spices that we fried in the pan, we've removed the cinnamon stick and we've added it to our little blender here. Now the key is with this dish you want the liquid really, or the mixture rather, really smooth. So put it in your little blender there, give it a good whiz. You just want to check it that it is nice and smooth. So no, there's still some bits in that. We could do that, just blending it a little bit more. That should be. That's much better. Can you see? It's not absolutely like liquid, but it's a lot smoother, which is what we want. So what we need to do now is get our pan back on the heat. And add our liquid into the pan. And now we add in our pre-cooked chicken, we add in our chilli, sugar, and your ghee or butter into the pan. And get that to a nice heat. Now you can add the cinnamon stick back in if you like, just to extract a little bit more flavour from that cinnamon, because that little cinnamon background really does sort of complement this dish very, very well. So you just have to remember to take it out before you serve it up, or you know, some people do leave it in just for the decorative sort of appeal of the dish, but that's entirely up to you. So just allow that, the butter to melt, and just that to come to a boil for a moment. So it's been bubbling away a couple of minutes now. Just add half a teaspoonful of salt. We can now add our garam masala. And just stir that in. Okay, and now we're going to transform the colour of the dish to that butter chicken colour by adding our liquid. Now that's about 3 tablespoons of water mixed with about half a teaspoon of the deep orange colour. As I say, you know, you can leave it out, but people do expect the dish to sort of have that orangey texture. So we'll just stir that in. When I say orange, I meant not texture, sorry. Orange colour. Thinking about something else. Okay, so just we just want to simmer that now for a little while, and then we're going to add the cream, which will change the colour again a little bit, and we'll finish off the dish. So we'll come back to that in just about a minute. Okay, so a couple of minutes, so we've just sort of blended that in. My film director here reminded me I forgot to put the ladle of base gravy in, which I'm going to do now. So sorry about that, but it's been a busy day today. I'm tired. So we had that ladle of gravy in there as well. As I said, you know, you don't need to, but it just, again, it just adds a nice you know, flavour. So we'll just get that back to a simmer, and now we're going to add our cream. It's quite a rich dish, so it's a good tablespoon of single cream. Now with single cream, it's important that when you add it to a dish, just take the heat down. Don't have it absolutely fiercely boiling away, or the cream can then separate in the dish, and it doesn't look very nice. So that's our butter chicken almost done. As you can see, it has a nice sort of orangey colour, which looks really good with the orange chicken tikka, and it does have a really delicious flavour. It's not as sweet as korma or chicken tikka masala, but it is certainly along that line of curry. So I'll just taste that, check it's okay. That's absolutely delicious. So what we're going to do is just simmer that just for a minute on a very low heat, just so that the oil floats on the top, and then it's ready. So here's the finished butter chicken, and we've just added a little swirl of cream on top there. That just makes it look more attractive. And have a go with this one. Again, if you prefer a sweeter curry, you can add a little bit more sugar to it, or if you you know, wanted a bit creamier, add a little bit more cream, but just do it according to your taste. But this is a delicious dish, butter chicken.